Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be picking my favorite Chinese tanks in the game and playing live for YouTube without the benefit of cherry picking games. So let's start at tier 7. There aren't that many tier 7 Chinese tanks in the game. If I had to pick a favorite, it would definitely be the T-34-1. This is just an all-round fabulous vehicle. It's got to be one of the best medium tanks tier for tier in the game. The T-34-1 just packs this tremendous turret, a dependable 100mm that even in a matchup like this can still pose a threat with 250 alpha damage and decent penetration on its gold rounds. I got a decision about what kind of a build I'm going to use here. Do I want to go for the camo in the view range, or do I want to take like more of a durability approach and be able to kind of like make my tracks a little bit vulnerable? This kind of a matchup, that special turret that this vehicle has definitely doesn't feel nearly so good. I think I'm going to go for the durability build, and I think I'm going to make an aggressive play in towards the E1 area. Although, kind of nervous about that. Yeah, it's an absolute horrible map and situation for this vehicle. All of the map kind of requires either very aggressive play, or it requires kind of a camo build, in my opinion, and not just a camo build, an exhaust and a vision system build. And I haven't diversified my builds on this tank in that way. And obviously, as I'm tier 7 and not tier 8, I can't really be using the vision system build. 80% of the time, if I'm playing a medium tank on this map and I'm towards the high tier, I'll make my way down the 0 line. I feel like the 0 line has a lot of value, but I'll only do that if the tank either has extremely good camo or I am using a camo build on the vehicle, because I do feel that the team that wins the 0 line is usually the team that flanks the center, and the team that flanks the center and flanks the west is usually the team that wins. Sometimes this map is still won by heavy tanks just crunching and making their way through the west, but whether that happens consistently, it's different. So do I cross here now that I've made it in? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm also going to switch to gold rounds, because I don't think I'm going to get to fire 10 shots in this game. And my side scraping capabilities, they're not that bad. I got 45mm of side armor on this tank. And quite often you will be able to pick up a shot. You just got to watch out for people who push down there. If somebody pushes down there, I'm going to cry, literally, well up with tears. But there you go. There's a good start, isn't it? Free 250 damage right there. I wonder if he's still going to let me just go for him again. Whoa! He actually used supreme accuracy there to just be able to go. I don't even know where that shot went through. I can't even see the mark on my tank. I guess we can take a look with battle hits after the battle, right? Maybe he just used heat rounds and could just go through the angled side armor. It could only ricochet AP up to between 70 degrees and 85 degrees, but heat will penetrate 85 degrees, up to 85 degrees of angled armor. So I think that's what actually just happened there. So GG. The heat on the Type 63 definitely balancing out my use of the Chinese frame, and I get out-traded a little bit. Luckily, I've got a few more hit points to try and trade. So I don't have the best of view range right now. So I'm kind of worried about whether they've got all of their TDs up there. I think, oh, there's definitely a TD up there, but we've got to try and go for that. We've got to try and go for this Nomad. Ooh, let's pull back as quickly as we can. Definitely aiming for a little bit too long there. Nomad has good HE as well, but it shouldn't be able to get me. He was, yeah, right there. Good. Good progress. Good progress. Okay, now the question is there another tank destroyer up there? Can I actually cross here and go hold down? Or are those guys going to obliterate me if I try to cross? There's another little hold down position that I might be able to use just around this corner. We'll come around the corner slowly. I don't believe this vehicle can... Oh, I'm dead. No way. I'm on fire and I got no fire extinguisher. Oh, surprise, Yag Tiger. Oh well, that's why we're playing these games live for YouTube, right? Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. An absolute surprise Yag Tiger there. Probably could have side-scraped a little bit better in that kind of situation, but I was hoping that I could just poke out and fire a quick shot and then be able to get back. So, I'm going to use battle hits now. A lot of you won't have seen me use this on YouTube. It's a modification which shows where the shells actually hit you. You can find it in Wargaming's official mod store, so we can take a look to see where the Type 63 hit us. So we can see here that the Type 63 indeed fired heat, and it looks like it's just hit the angled surface on the side there. Now that would ricochet if it was an AP round, but because it was a heat round, and this tank, it's got angled and relatively thick armor that will be able to bounce up to like 150mm shells, but because the heat, it's just gone right through. Brutal start today, but you know what? If the T-34-1 gets a bad map and a bad matchup, let's pick something at Tier 8 and see if it's going to be a little bit better. So there's a wealth of Tier 8s to choose from. Obviously, like the Type 59, an absolute classic in World of Tanks. The BZ-176, an absolute disgusting vehicle. The 112 as well, incredibly underrated heavy. Love this vehicle. But I'm going to pick the 122TM. Because I think the 122TM is probably one of the most underrated premium mediums in the game. And this is a vehicle for everyone. It's not just a vehicle for sweaty nerds. It's a vehicle for the casual players as well. If any of you out there like having a fairly consistent gun, which is pretty accurate with 400 alpha damage and good penetration on its premium rounds and good penetration on its standard rounds, the accuracy, aim time good. The only two things that I don't like about this tank is, number one, the view range. 370 meters view range is just not great for tier 8, and it means that I have to use coated optics. I hate using coated optics. It feels like a wasted equipment slot in 2025, where all of the other vehicles with situational awareness and recon alone, with all of the other crew skills and a premium consumable, you can get away without using the coated optics. Now there's so much good equipment to be able to use instead. It's the last thing I want to do, to have to put those on my tank. But in this situation with 370 meters view range, I have to. The other thing that sucks about this vehicle is it has some of the worst damage per minute of any of the mid to high tier tanks in the game. 1,371. Accordingly, on this vehicle, I have two builds. One with a gun rammer, one without a gun rammer. When I'm in a matchup like this, I want to play it a little bit more long range, try and use my sniping opportunities, try and use some hold down opportunities against my opponents. Got very good armor on this tank, apart from those two weak points on top. And I'm going to drop the gun rammer, because I'd rather have the vert stabs. The gun handling on this tank is awkward. The aim time is pretty good. And really, you don't want to hang around for too long because of the weak points on top of the vehicle. So I'm just going to set up and just play a little bit chill. Wait, you know? Last game I maybe tried to push the tempo a little bit, and the Yak Tiger definitely caught me a little bit too hot, right, with setting me on fire. In this game, I think I'm going to just take my time. Oh, wow, that K91 would have spotted me. I'm going to have to fall back, otherwise the FV215B1A3 on the enemy team is actually over here. Might get me. E3 as well. Hori 1. Lots of scary tanks that could contest me, but that Centurion 7-1 just looks delicious. So I could go for the side of the turret right now. I feel like I should wait for a better opportunity. Now that's as good as I'm going to get, I feel. Whoa, we miss. The good accuracy of this vehicle not working out, and now we have the world's longest reload, right? Kind of need heat rounds for his upper hull, but I don't need it for that. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. And this thing, just consistent damage here. Just a very consistent damage. I wonder if he's thinking about trying to blind fire me here. He might be. This game's neck and neck right now. Both teams seeming to be losing hit points at equal speeds, I should say. And this is something that you always need to take into account in World of Tanks, is how quickly is your team losing its hit points. So I've got two decisions right now. One is that I kind of try and push across, but if I go on that platform, I'm going to get dunked from above. What I might do, I think they would have probably proxy spotted there. Wow, well, I won that T-34-1 game even though I didn't have to do anything. I think what I'm going to do, considering my team won the center, is I'm actually going to push across and try and help the Borask and the HWK-12. I'll aim across the 50 TP, just in case I can be able to get a cheeky shot into him while I'm advancing. There's an ELC-90 up there, which isn't really too much of a concern. The Progetto 65 is, though. He's going to be able to probably fire, reload, fire, before I could even get my second shot in against the guy. Yeah, just lovely 400 alpha damage gun in this vehicle. This is... Artie, love you. Artie, love you, yeah. This is kind of like the tortoise and the hare kind of argument in this vehicle. If you have a tank that doesn't really get things done quickly, but it gets it done consistently, is that better than having kind of like a wild, flashy tank? There's a lot more hit and miss. So for a lot of you out there who want to have something that's fairly consistent and doesn't have a great rate of fire, and you've got some time to aim, you've got some time to relocate between your shots, you've got poor reaction times, doesn't matter because, you know, your tank isn't flashy in that regard, then this might be the one for you. I actually do think that a lot of players, mid-average players, will do very well in this vehicle compared to how they would do in other premium tanks. Because when you get yourself into a nice matchup, your armor really does count for something. Am I going to get tagged from down below? I don't think so, but I'm probably going to get shot from the Progetto up there. What else is likely to be up there? There's a Hori 1 who's got 2 kills. No one's dead on this flank, so I'm not sure if that could be the Hori, unless he shot the people towards the middle. I know where the Arty is now. We'll mark that Arty on the map. Tell the team where the SPG is. Always useful. But yeah, no, this tank, I think it'll do very well in the hands of all players. But I do think it's the kind of tank that exceptional players are probably not going to reach their potential in, because it is limited by this damage per minute. It is limited by this damage per minute. I'm going to ask this Borask for a little bit of help. Poke up here. I got spotted? Aha, ELC's trying to do the poke. Uh-oh, here we go. It's a Progetto clock. I'm going to overmatch him with my 120mm gun. Most 105s wouldn't be able to overmatch there. And the Arty just puts in a huge shell. Game-changing shell there. Got to watch my weak point on top of this vehicle. But also, got to try and shoot this Progetto. Try and pressure him. Wonder if he comes after me. I still have my repair kit. He's ammo-racked. And what... You know, this is a tier 8 tank that's just going after a tier 10, and I ricocheted him off the front with that fabulous armor. And this is what I'm talking about with this vehicle. Slow and steady sometimes wins the race. It's not a flashy autoloader. It's not a high DPM medium tank, but that 120mm gun cannot be underestimated. And if you know some of the weaknesses that your opponents have, with I believe the Progetto having 35mm of side armor like in STB1, I knew that I could be able to fire up and overmatch that vehicle, and suddenly you can make some of these stats this tank have that I think are undervalued very, very strong indeed. And to have that frontal armor as well, it's only really the artillery that's been challenging me this game. I could probably switch out to an HE shell here for the ELC, but I think the ELC is a one-shot, so that would be unnecessary. Talk about a one-shot, I'd love to get my hands on you, but the Borask is going to. Alright, they've still got a T110E 3 on full health and a Hori. We're ahead on tanks, but this could get very ugly indeed. Especially when you consider that we look like we have a charioteer who's just chilling. So I've got most of my team's hit points. Should we say active hit points right now? Oh, I thought that was destructible. My bad. No, that definitely doesn't look destructible. So in this kind of a situation, honestly, the safer play would be just to cap out. I think capping right now, at least forcing the enemies to come to us, would be the better play. Well, we can see where the E3 is. He's not AFK, he's moving. And my team has decided that they're not going to cap. Borask is... Was he firing HE there? Oh, the Hori 1, thank goodness, is low on health. That's great news. Looks like my Hori's going to try and punish him. I've got 299mm of heat pen. So that means that if I hit this guy's structure, it's kind of like a 50-50 whether we take him down or not. That's good. That's great. That's great. I got spotted there, so I'm going to have to watch out for this E3. I'm also kind of like a 50-50 to die to this E3. Luckily, he misses the Hori. I'm going to finish off the Arty. And then I'm going to go get behind this guy. Well, this is an interesting fight, isn't it? This is a really interesting fight. I'm going to use this TD here. You're going to have to shoot the Hori, mate. I'm not interested in your shenanigans. If I get behind him, he won't be able to stop me now as well. Easy. Easy, right? There you go. That is possibly the most chill 4K you'll ever have. And this is also a really good therapy tank as well. If you have one of those games where it just didn't really go your way, jumping into something like this, which is just oh so consistent, can actually feel really nice as well. And so when you have one of those games like the T-34-1 where you get set on fire, it's all going wrong, right? Then, yeah, maybe this one will work out for you as well. So we finished number 1 in experience. We got that nice 4,100 combined. Made really good profit not having to fire any heat rounds there, or maybe 1 heat round. I can't remember. It's just such a solid tank. It really, really, really is. Luckily, we won the T-34-1 game. I got carried for sure in that round. But you know what? One-shot fires happen. One of the things that's crazy about the 122 TM is that I have 72% wins in this thing solo with 88 games that I've played. It's just such a force. It's always in the battle. It always just pumps out. Not the biggest combines. I'm only averaging 3,000 combined in this tank. But I can tell you, one of my most recommended vehicles, and it will have a positive win ratio difference, irrelevant of what kind of a player you are. Okay, so that was tier 8. Now we're going to jump up to tier 9. What's my favorite tier 9? Well, I tell you what, I love the 111G. This vehicle is tier 10 tank destroyer, gun at tier 9. This is a fabulous tank. It's bonkers OP, especially after Wargaming buffed this vehicle completely unnecessarily. However, I think if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably go with the new DZT-159. Honestly, guys and girls, this thing is just an absolute monster. I love the DZT-159 because it's fast enough for me to be able to get into any situation and be ridiculously cheeky. And I can ram things. I've got the firepower when I get there. I've got the gold pen. I've got the alpha. I've got the turret armor. I've got some hull armor that will get me out of trouble against 7s and 8s. This thing is an absolute force. It's performing pretty well. When I say pretty well, it's performing very well as a tier 9 medium. Although I think that some people are struggling with this tank. I've already made 2 videos on this vehicle. One was the tank review. One was the kind of like the masterclass, or I just titled it as a third mark because I didn't want to change anything from the tank review previously. Also, controversially, I'm going to elect to use a vision system exhaust here because I believe that taking the A1 and then crossing from A1 to A6 is the only difficult part of this game. If I can take A1, the vision system exhaust will allow me to be able to use the trees to shoot down to deal with my opponents, and then the vision system exhaust will allow me to cross. So the rockets right now are allowing me to just quickly boost into position. I think I'll save going down slope here, and then I'll probably use one more. Now, the way that boosts work in World of Tanks with Chinese tanks, with the rockets, either the heavies or the medium in this case, is that you increase your top speed limit. In this case, for the medium, it's by 70%. For the heavies, it's by 50%. And it also takes into account things like engineer on your driver skill, also takes into account things like the turbo. So you want to try and use those on the vehicle. Now, I do understand that there's an irony that I decided to drop the turbo here, and it means I'm going to be quite a significant amount slower. But I do feel that still the vision system is going to hopefully get me a lot more value. Okay, this is a really awkward situation here because I want to cross, but there's a light tank that could be anywhere. And then my TDs didn't come over here. Cobra, I will spot for you. Okay, the RU's on the other side. I'm going to go. This is incredibly awkward. I'm not going to use the rockets until my sixth sense goes off. Okay, here's a little bit of a tip. Oh, wow. I might be able to just swing left here, and the exhaust will keep me in it. Hope my Cobra gets him. Okay. Maybe I can just use these trees here for a sec. Yeah. Get him. Get him, boys. I think my CS should be able to finish him off. Okay. I guess I can use that tree now. Oh, no, there's the Kalana. That's not good. Okay. It's okay, because my turret is amazing in this position, so I should still be okay. I just got to wedge back just a touch more. Yeah. Perfect turret here. Perfect turret. The G-Saw's down. Nomad looks like he was spotting me. Artie's going to get me here, though. I might just wait the medkit out, because I think I'm going to get hit by artillery again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come across. So now the tree is blocking vision from the Nomad. Okay, and then we're gonna go rockets. Oh no, the Squall's there! No, Mr. Squall! Get him, friends! Get him! Okay, good. I've only got one rocket left now. There's the Nomad again. There's the medkit usage. Okay, fix the tracks. I used the rocket too early before I'd repaired my tracks. I didn't realize you could do that. Come on. That was a bit of a misplay. At least we got rid of the Squall. So yeah, you can't really do anything about a Squall just being there, but I think the vision system exhaust has really paid off so far. The vision system exhaust allowed me to outspot the G-Saw. The vision system exhaust has allowed me to maybe even see the Squall. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have been able to spot him with his camera rating being in that bush. And now, hopefully, it's going to be able to pay off here. So, yeah, 3,000 spotting. I've got multiple tanks taken care of. 3 tier 8s so far. Hopefully a little bit more in a second. Progetto's over there. I can't really worry about him. I'm going to worm my way along this bush line. Obviously, there's a Kalana. There's the Kalana. Left them on a few hit points. The problem is that once I've used all of my boosts, I'm actually incredibly slow now. Incredibly slow. We're going to go then? I just got to hope that the Kalana shoots this guy and not me, in all honesty. Mate, we should not be stopping here. The Kalana fired. The Kalana fired. Dude, the Kalana fired. We got to go. Dude. Okay, this is awkward now. The Kalana fired. Why are you trying to shoot at the arty? Why are you trying to shoot at the arty if the Kalana fired? Don't thanks me. Shoot the Kalana. Shoot the Kalana. This game's going to be a loss. Go after the Kalana. The arty's insignificant right now. Stop aiming at the arty and aim at the Kalana, my dude. I'm going to die to the arty now because we took so long to go after this Kalana. Okay, thank the LT-432. Oh, good, the Kalana missed. That means he should have the reload on him, right? Okay, good. That was a different CS52 lease. They had me very stressed. He's called Tanky Bang Man. Well, you nearly made us go bang there, Tanky Man. Okay, I'm very low on hit points. The Progetto could be able to get me at a moment's notice. Whoa. Yeah, man, I can't believe I had to use so many rockets so far this game. But the rockets got us out of bad situations as well, right? Can you believe this thing's armor? 1,700. Damage blocked. Okay, at least Tanky Bang Man is going to do the correct thing, which is to go towards the cap circle there. Man, that was stressful to have 2 artilleries aiming at us with only 180 hit points. What's up with me and taking hits from artillery today, by the way, boys and girls? Looks like artillery just have a thing for Uncle QuickyBaby right now. Alright, the lover spotted me. Looks like this game is just ending, so I presume I can just go in and farm? It's a dangerous presumption to have in World of Tanks, right? I presume I can just go in and farm, and then suddenly... No. Oh, gosh. He's got me. No! Not bad. Not bad. I'll take 4,700 combined that we saw. Great stuff. Great stuff. My team should be able to easily finish this one off. And the best thing about this tank, we'll make so many credits from this game because, of course, it is a premium tank. So, that is the DZT-159, one of the most exciting tanks you can be able to get your hands on. And considering that this video is going to come out on Sunday, last chance possibly ever to be able to get this tank. I'm sure that Wargaming's marketing department will be happy that I said that. But yeah, just realize don't gamble to get it is what I'm trying to suggest, boys and girls. Alright, that was my favorite tier 9. Now let's jump up to tier 10 and decide what is my favorite tier 10 Chinese tank. Alright, it's a 50-50 here, okay? I love the 111 5A. This thing always produces bangers. But I also like the BZ-75. I think the BZ-75 is the worst tank than the 5A. The 5A is an absolute banger. It really is. And also, if I had to pick a medium, it'd be the 121B. Just for that filthy 350mm of gold pen. Always disgusting to get that kind of gold pen in World of Tanks. So yeah, not a bad result here. Yeah, 4,700 combined, as I said. No hidden spotting. I'm going to boost that up. And we made ourselves 106,000 credits profit, although Holiday Ops is ending tomorrow. Luckily, I saved myself enough credits for the new British double barrel line, as well as also I've got enough consumables to last for about 2 years, I think. So overkill within that regard. What when you've got so many credits and you've got everything that you want in World of Tanks, what do you do with your credits? Do you either just only use premium consumables, or do you only spam gold rounds, or do you dump them into crew books? I don't know. All right, so WZ-111 5A, this thing is just an absolute fabulous heavy in every regard. Amazing damage per minute, great alpha, and good heat pen as well. I'm actually going to drop the turbo. I'm going to use a durability device here, so I've got a few more hit points. Also means that I'll be able to take a hit. Although, considering what a beautiful spawn I got, maybe I should have gone for the turbo. If I took the turbo, I might have been able to cross here and use that huge position for this tank. So the 5A's armor is very good. It's not perfect, though. Weak points on top. But, man, look at this speed. Is this a heavy right now? This is a non-turbo heavy. And that's because this thing gets a field mod that increases its top speed limit by 4 kilometers an hour. So you combine that with engineer and boom, you're just absolutely plowing. And it means that I'm going to be in position ready to just absolutely clunk the TVP. And maybe he loses the duel now to the bat chat if the bat chat doesn't suck. I can take the window. I'm always very nervous about taking this window, though. Very nervous about taking this window. Always seems to go wrong for me. But I'm a scary tank. Just bounced 2 gold rounds. My bat chat's taken the hill. And I have the tempo now. I have the tempo. 50B's going to have to run away and pay some more QuickyBaby hit points tax. Wonderful. You know, in the UK, it's very nearly time for the final tax return and whatnot of the year. God, QB, thanks for reminding us. Oh, I love this gun. I love this tank. It just always produces. Always produces. Nobody thinks about this tank. Really, nobody thinks about this tank. But it's just one of those tanks that just performs. At least for me. I got 67% win rate solo in this bad boy. He says that as he loses a huge amount of hit points there. It just seems to perform. I think it's just the perfect tank for somebody who wants to just be at the front and to push the tempo from the very beginning. And this gold pen as well. Oh, it's disgusting. I could probably go through that Udez's weak point there, but he can definitely go through mine. That Udez is by far the superior kind of hold down tank in this. Oh, let's go, dudes! What a lovely shot that was! Okay, should we try and get the FE405 from above, or should we try and go for the gorilla right now? Udez is melting. Let's see if we can find the FE405 here, but he might find me. Where is he going to be? At the back somewhere? Over there? At the back somewhere? This gorilla's there. The 50B's over there as well. Let's go. See if we can get some spots, get some shots, get the STRV. They're all behind the rocks. T100 LT might be about to expose himself. He is. Love it. I tell you what, a lot of you will be going, QB, what about the 113? Well, here's the real story. This thing has 7 degrees of gun depression over the front, whereas the 113 only has 7 degrees of gun depression over the side. That means that this tank is automatically just so much better than the 113. If any of you have played the 113, you'll know how awkward the 113 feels with regards to gun depression over the front of the vehicle. You have to like over-angle the vehicle to be able to get that 7 degrees of gun depression. This 50B made a really nice play to come across towards the middle. I respect that. I respect that. I'm just going to take some time up on the hill here. I'm not going to rush into something right now. I'd like to highlight, just look at this thing's gun handling as well, even without the vert stabs. This tank is definitely not a vert stabs tank, in my humble opinion. Look at the turret traverse, 0.08, so just get yourself snapshot if you need. The movement dispersion isn't ideal, but you know what, you could just double your smooth ride on a driver if you really wanted to. Alright, I think it's time to attack. Be careful, there's a rock on the side, so you don't want to get caught by that. Okay, good. Always nice to not lose hit points going down a death slope like that. A death slope, QB! You just caught me from the back of the map there. Couldn't even see him. Nice shot, Utes. That gorilla's over there. I can actually destroy that gorilla in a single shot, like 50% of the time with HE. I should have definitely capitalized on this game more. I think my mid game has been poor. My early game was very strong, though. Talk about very strong. I'm very good at farming AFK tanks. Yep. Really, that gorilla got a shot in there, did he? I'm very good at farming AFK tanks. Artillery looks like they're good at farming me, though. So we've got 2 Udes. The gorilla's kind of run away a little bit. We don't know where the FE405 is. Probably up in this corner. You think he's up in those bushes waiting for me to crest the corner? How did that T-92 hit me for 600, by the way? I've been taking some artillery shells today, boys and girls. That's for sure. Some serious artillery shells today. To be fair, I could have probably crested the ridgeline up here to be able to get that shot. Alright, we got the second one in. A little bit of revenge, although he hit me harder than I hit him. Hi! Well, who's this guy aiming for? Is he aiming for me? Yo, I don't have the hit points to tank him. So you're just going to be able to get me from above with the griller? I'm proxy spotted. I kind of need a friend to come with me. This is scary now. I mean, the game's a win, but like, Mr. Mouse, can you kindly take a shot for me? Oh, glorious mouse. I will help you. Go on, glorious mouse. Yay! Thank you, Mr. Mouse. I appreciate you. I'll even let him ram him. Go on then, I'll let you ram him. Will I? Yeah, go on. I didn't have a choice anyway. It's not like I'm damaged Jesus here. But yeah, that's the WZ-111-5A. A great tank. Really is. Just, I don't know why. No one really thinks about this thing. When it first went into the game, it was outrageously good and everybody was playing it. No one thinks about it now. I think it's still absolutely top tier. It's not the hold down monster that 3 tanks are going to be, like the can opener, the M5Y, and the Type 71 next patch. But this thing still absolutely slaps. Really does. Great alpha, great gold pen. It's often all you need. Okay, so games have gone pretty quick. So I'm going to pick 2 tanks at tier 10. So let's make this a Chinese heavy double barrel, or double bill, I should say. I'm going to play with the BZ-75 as well. I love this tank. Now, unlike the 111-5A, which you must use a gun rammer on, the 5A you must use a gun rammer on. It's a high DPM tank, and its alpha isn't great. Well, it's good. It's very good, but it's not great. This tank, the BZ-75, on the other hand, is a tank that I 3-marked by dropping the gun rammer because I'd rather focus on its mobility, its durability. It has fabulous hit points, the BZ-75. And I like the vents because they give me more consistency than improving the damage per minute on a vehicle where its alpha damage is enough, so I can kind of survive between my reloads. I'd like to also clarify, while I do rep the vents a lot, I also have a gun rammer build, but I use the gun rammer build when I don't need a turbo. On this map, there's multiple ways that I could play. I could make my way down the center, but I'm going to exploit a weakness that the enemy team have, and that is they've got only 2 mediums. So I'm actually going to show you a bit of a cheeky play on Erlenberg Assault that usually ends up giving me a good win ratio, but maybe not. And we've also got the Baroness in this tank. Time to move out. Did you know that the Baroness used to have voice lines where she called her crew and I think her team idiots? But Wargaming have actually censored it. I'm not sure if any of you noticed, but Wargaming had to say that World of Tanks has bad language in. I wonder if it was because the Baroness was calling people idiots. I don't know. Possibly. Do I have to say that my YouTube video now has bad language? Oh my god, no! Why? Who sends IS-7s down here? Oh, sweet lord above. This is going to be a short game of World of Tanks. This is going to be a very short game of World of Tanks, but I wonder if they realize how sneaky I am. Yeah? So hopefully I'm going to show you why I love this position. Help me! Hopefully I'll show you why I love this position still. I'm so going to get farmed, but yeah. I'm so going to get farmed as soon as the 50B comes. Oh, he actually got shot into my weak point. Well played, IS-7. At least I'll go up here. But yeah, this position's wonderful against the meds. But yeah, the mediums just were like, well, we don't care about you today, Mr. QuickyBaby. I wish the Foch would come round. I really thought that maybe one of these 268s would be over here as well. Quite often you have a TD over here and a couple TDs over here, which keeps you a little protected. Oh, God. There goes my fuel tanks. Actually, about 2! Oh, no, it's a French nightmare! It's a French nightmare! They high roll as well! Oh, what was this, dude? They don't even... Why everyone here for once? Just... Oh, no. God. It's like they had a hive mind. Every single one of the heavy tanks that I didn't want to come here came here. And my Foch 155 was like, yeah, right, mate. I'm not helping you in this situation. Oh, well. I should have quit while I had my 4 wins, right? Although, to be fair, considering that I've distracted 5 tanks down that flank, maybe the push play through the center is going to be what wins us the battle. BZ-75 is an absolute banger. Wonderful for ramming, wonderful for just working ridge lines, and it's got enough hit points to usually take a few shots, although in this case, against 2 Foch Bs, yeah, nothing has enough hit points for that. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was my list of top Chinese tanks from tier 7 and above. Honorable mention should be made to the Type 64 as well, at a tier 6 light. Ooh, absolutely amazing tank inside the Chinese tank tree. These are the ones that I enjoy. These are the ones that I would recommend getting your hands on. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite Chinese tanks and why. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.